Here's what's happening now. Tigers, concerts, Wolverines. Oh my, it is a jam-packed last weekend of summer, and we've got your forecasts coming up.
A homemade bomb goes off on a packed subway train in London. Now a massive manhunt is underway to find those responsible as the city remains on high alert. He helped expose the Flint water crisis 2 years ago. What this expert is now saying about the water in Flint and whether it's safe to drink. Paula.
There was a time that malls were the thing, but it turns out not anymore. Now, airports and airport malls are the thing. I'll explain.
We begin with breaking news this Friday afternoon. A Detroit man convicted of murder when he was just 12 years old will be set free on Monday on his 21st birthday. DeMarco Harris was found guilty of felony murder, among other charges, for the robbery and shooting death of 24-year-old Trisha Babcock back in 2009. Harris was facing a possible life sentence in prison, but this afternoon, a judge ruled he will be freed from a juvenile detention center next week. Stay with Local 4. We'll have reaction from both Harris's family and the victim's family ahead on Local 4 News at 5. Good afternoon, everybody. A very busy news day. First at 4, a man is in police custody after he says he shot and killed his 42-year-old niece on the city's west side. It happened just before 10:30 this morning. Police say the 52-year-old man allegedly shot the mother of two in the head because he was feeling, quote, stressed out. The woman was the caretaker for her grandmother, who has dementia, according to the victim's family. Her job and her grandmother meant everything to her.
That was her heart. That was her heart. She come every morning to take care of this woman. She has dementia. She takes care of her job, impeccable. No one can say anything wrong about her. She was always on her job, always.
We are learning more about the victim and her family. Priya Mann has that story ahead at 5. An expert who warned the public about dangerous lead levels in Flint's water is now declaring an end to the crisis. Virginia Tech researcher Mark Edwards says that several rounds of testing reveal lead levels are back to normal. Edwards recommends the continued use of filters. The 5th and likely final round of testing finished last month. A total of 138 homes were a part of that test. Moving to Novi, where eastbound I-96 is back open right now after an overturned dump truck forced a closure at Novi Road. Sky 4 was over the scene earlier today. You can see what appears to be asphalt spread across the interstate. Crews made quick work of that cleanup as the closure lasted less than an hour. I-96 was reopened just before 12:30 this afternoon. Time now for our first look at the forecast. Ben is tracking 80s this weekend. Summer's not over yet.
No, Karen, we're going to try to pack as much as we can into these last 7 days of the season. We just kissed 80 degrees today, and it's back to 78 at Metro. Upper 70s pretty much across the board with a light wind, but it is going to be hopping downtown Detroit tonight. White Sox are in town to play the Tigers. That's a 7:10 first pitch. Beautiful conditions, mostly clear, very comfortable with light winds and low humidity. And then on Saturday, the Wolverines are in the big house, and they'll be taking on Air Force. It's a noon kick. 76 at game time over there, and they will hit 80 degrees by the end of that. A lot more stuff going on this weekend and a lot more 80s to come in that 7-day forecast. That's in a few minutes. Karen?
Hundreds of London police on a massive manhunt today to find who is responsible for planting a homemade bomb on a packed London subway train. Devin, following the latest developments from the newsroom. Devin.
Yeah, Karen, the explosive device went off right in the middle of the morning rush. This caused flash burns to more than 24 people and, of course, also instilled some panic in a city that is already very much on edge. At least 29 people were hurt in this blast in southwest London. None of the injuries, fortunately, is believed to be life-threatening, but police are treating the attack as a terrorist incident. No arrests have been made. Investigators are now examining the remains of what was this improvised explosive device in a bucket. Prime Minister Theresa May says anyone traveling to the UK in the near future should expect to see an increased police presence.
The public should go about their daily lives, but remain vigilant, and people who are travelling in London will see an increased armed police presence on the transport network, and they will see security will be increased, and the police will, of course, do what is necessary to protect the public.
Now, there have already been 4 confirmed terror attacks in Great Britain this year, 3 of them in London, the other in Manchester. And Karen, in the last hour or so, ISIS has claimed responsibility for today's attack, saying it was carried out by an affiliated unit. whatever that means. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Devin. First at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines all around the world. Let's start in the United States, where protests have erupted in St. Louis after a former police officer is found not guilty of the 2011 shooting death of an African-American man. More than 6 years ago, Jason Stockley shot and killed Anthony Lamar Smith after a police chase. Stockley pleaded not guilty, saying he acted in self-defense. Today, a judge acquitted the former officer. Stockley could have been sentenced to life in prison without parole had he been convicted. Today, the Trump administration is responding to North Korea's latest ballistic missile test. Both National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster and U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley said the president has military options to stop North Korea. Their comments come after North Korea fired a ballistic missile over parts of Japan. North Korea has yet to reference the launch. Moving to Paris, police say a man armed with a knife tried to attack a soldier in a major subway. The soldier was a part of an anti-terrorism operation and quickly tackled the attacker. Police have confirmed they are treating this as an act of terror. After 20 years of exploring Saturn, NASA's Cassini spacecraft made its final voyage. Earth received its final message this morning. The spacecraft studied the ringed planet and its moons, sending valuable information back to Earth. Cassini was deliberately crashed into Saturn so it did not crash into a nearby moon. This year, more than 8,000 brick-and-mortar stores will close as more and more consumers buy exclusively online. But while shopping malls are hurting, there are some retailers that are thriving these days. Paula Tutman inside Detroit's Metro Airport, where shops are seeing a boom in business. Paula.
Everybody has their favorite shops at the mall, right? But here's a question for you. Am I really at the mall right now? It's actually the Delta Terminal at Detroit Metro Airport, and Kathy loves it. Finally returning to Florida, where the lights are finally back on.
I love Plum Market. I love the Brookstone, the magazine place, and you can get Saunders chocolates. I always make a point of getting here early enough to shop.
You don't have to look far to see brick and mortar establishments closing, but airport retail is up, way up. A recent survey by Slate magazine shows projections of airport retail stores topping $10 billion this year and growing. Tanya Allen is part of that statistic. With her partnerships with Paradis Lagadière and José's branded foods, she owns a combined 15 retail establishments and food concessions at Detroit Metro. And she says her sales are on the rise.
Well, they're shopping here because I don't want to say they're captive audience. They are captivated audiences.
Okay.
And we try to provide retail products and items that will captivate them when they're here.
Anecdotally, it makes sense. People are busy. When they travel, there's a confluence of perfect scenarios. They have to arrive at the airport early to get through security. They have time to kill. And because they're in travel mode, their wallets are already open. Cha-ching.
Well, I'm from out of town, so I'm bringing souvenirs back for everybody down in Alabama, Birmingham.
So I need to get something for my son to balance out my daughter. I got something for her at a store in Grand Rapids, so now I got to get something here.
Airports have also gotten the message and made their terminals less like terminals and more like, well, shopping experiences that are spending friendly. Throw in the fact that airlines have cut down on freebies, and you have a recipe for success and a near license to print money.
The food overall is up 6% in the airport. The Economist right here is up 25%.
Now, Michigan sports.
Yes.
You said you guys are up 68%?
Yeah, about 66%.
66%.
Yes.
Even a mini Plum Market at the airport is packing them in and bringing up the stats.
It is the busiest restaurant in the airport. We service about 2,000 clients a day.
So, Karen, you can see it really is a perfect storm for retail success. So I have a little bit of a question for you. Here's your Friday quiz. What do you think is the highest volume item sold? The most sold item inside the airport? Guesses?
Okay, I'm going to go for a food item. Maybe something, is this lame? I'm going to say like a salad or something like that, or is that a horrible choice?
I can see why you would say that.
A lot of people look for healthy
water.
options. Okay, what is it?
Yeah, nope, it's water. water, bottles of water.
Oh, I guess that would make sense because you got to lose it at the security thing. Always thinking about making
Yes, it is a
money.
license. That's right, license to print money on that one.
I have to admit, I do like shopping at the airport. It is kind of fun. Great story. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Have a good weekend.
You as well.
Well, still ahead, first at 4, we've got some new research revealing a hidden risk when it comes to preteens having cell phones, what a majority of children admit doing when they have a phone before reaching their teenage years. We'll talk about that. Plus, President Trump is firing back. What the president is now calling for after a television anchor calls him a white supremacist. Good afternoon, Kimberly.
Hi, Karen. There are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to concussions. Next in Good Health, separating facts from fiction when it comes to youth sports. That's next.
How safe? Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Back to school has meant back to the doctor for many Metro Detroit kids. Plus, the first cases of the flu are popping up. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Tonight at 5, see what's going around where you live.
In Good Health, today is National Concussion Awareness Day, and Kimberly Gill is here with the latest on efforts to clear up some confusion and misconceptions about concussions, because we hear that word.
You're right. So many misconceptions. And while prevention efforts have improved dramatically over the past 2 decades, there are some messages that still just don't seem to be getting through. Take a listen. Concussions aren't just a concern for the Friday night lights. A major misconception is that a player will show symptoms of a concussion immediately after impact.
They usually peak within the first few hours or so, but they can be delayed in onset. So the athlete that has a concussion during the game may not know it until they go home and they start to feel a little bit off, or even the next day when they start to go to school and they realize that they're not functioning as well as they have in the past.
There have been many advances in equipment to help protect athletes, but sports medicine Dr. Richard Feiger says no helmet has been proven to actually prevent concussions.
Helmets do not prevent concussions. They help with head injuries, they help with facial injuries, but they don't necessarily prevent concussions. They are better than what they used to be, but they're not perfect.
It's also a myth that kids bounce back faster than adults. Children and teenagers may actually require longer to recover from a concussion. And it's not just football players at risk. Research finds female soccer players suffer the highest rate of concussions among all high school athletes. And girls with soccer-related concussions are more likely than boys to get right back on the field. A new study finds about half of girls return to a game or practice the same day as their injury, compared to just 17% of the boys. Ignoring a concussion can prolong recovery and worsen symptoms, so it's definitely something that you want to take very seriously. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. In the weather pod, did I hear you right earlier? You said we kissed 80?
We just kissed it.
I like that.
Just sort of got
that
there.
description.
It almost feels like we're going into a holiday week.
Oh, doesn't it? It's so nice out there.
Because we've got summer that's coming to an end. This is our last weekend of summer. And boy, it's going to feel every bit like the season here for the next several days. We're at 78 right now at Metro. We've come off of those highs just a little bit, but you can still see that our north zone remains one of our warmer spots. 79 in Lapeer, Sandusky, and Port Huron. Compared to yesterday, these numbers are warmer, not by much, but especially here on the east side, a little bit more noticeable. 3, 4, and 5 degrees warmer than some of these numbers that we saw yesterday. So we had a little bit of fog to contend with this morning, but on the visible satellite, watch what happened with those cumulus clouds just sort of blowing up in the afternoon. So there was some sunshine working around those clouds, but we had plenty of those that are out there too. Non-threatening, by the way. We're not anticipating anything as far as rainfall goes, but we may be seeing a little bit of fog as we go towards tomorrow morning. And here's how the forecast shapes up. Dry over the next couple days. So other than those possibility of seeing some morning fog, we will be dry on Saturday and most of Sunday. Once we get towards the end of Sunday, we'll start working a cold front in from the west. That'll bring us a chance of rain, but I don't think it's going to get here until Sunday night. So weekend plans still got the green light as we head into the upcoming weekend. Tonight, 60 degrees, skies on the clear, and yes, we will have some patchy fog again, probably not quite as dense or as widespread as we've had in the last couple mornings, but high temperatures being even warmer going into tomorrow. We will be seeing those numbers in the upper, right around low 80s, I should say, as we head into the afternoon hours tomorrow, and those numbers will continue rising as we we get into the upcoming 7-day forecast, which will have temperatures 83 on Sunday. We'll cool down just a little bit behind that front on Monday to 77, and then start seeing the numbers move back up towards the middle of next week. That's our only shot of rain, and with a good chunk of the area, especially our west and south zone, in those pre-drought conditions, that's not good news. We'll deal with that later. We've got a great weekend ahead of us, though, for the next two. Karen?
Thank you, Ben. Still ahead, there is a new tool to help parents when it comes to party planning. What Netflix is now offering parents to make sure their child's birthday celebration is extra special. But first, President Trump responds to being called a white supremacist by an ESPN anchor. That's next. All right, time now for a look at today's top trending stories on our Friday afternoon. We begin with President Trump attacking ESPN after controversial tweets by one of the sport network's employees. Earlier this week, ESPN anchor and Michigan State University graduate Jemele Hill called the president a white supremacist. She said that on social media. The White House later called it a fireable offense. Hill issued an apology to the network. This morning, the president turned to Twitter to attack the sports network. So far, neither Hill nor ESPN has responded to the president's tweet. Well, a new study today finds that elementary school students who own cell phones are more likely to be cyberbullied. Third and fourth graders with phones had the highest risk of being cyberbullied, and more cell phone owners admitted they had been a cyberbully themselves. Experts say continuous access to social media and texting gives children more opportunities to interact in positive as well as negative ways. Netflix is introducing something kind of cool for you, a new feature called Birthdays on Demand. It's a new way to surprise your kiddos on their birthday with a happy birthday video from favorite characters such as Barbie and Lego friends. You just choose any one of the 15 2-minute featurettes and your child's favorite characters will deliver a special birthday message for you.
Will they use their name?
I don't know, because that would be what would be cool. Otherwise, it would just be saying happy birthday, but I don't know. I'll have to investigate.
Do some digging.
All right. Stick around today for Inside Edition. Today at 4:30, you might be questioning whether you should let your dog on your bed or perhaps on your furniture. You will see what kind of germs your pets are bringing into the house. We spoke with anchor Deborah Norville about the lab results.
We swabbed the feet of dogs that slept in the bed with their owners, and then we took those swabs to the laboratory to see what they came up with. The list is so icky that it's going to spoil your dinner tonight.
Yikes. Well, there's a good chance your pet is tracking bacteria into your home. Dirty Pet Paws on Inside Edition, just a few minutes away right after this newscast. And what'd you say? I know, you don't ever think about it that much, but it can be a mess. Look at this little kid. He's 11 years old, and he had the opportunity to get one of his wishes granted at the White House. What he did today that earned him a high five from the president. She was successful by day, hiding a secret at night.
I found myself shaking at lunch.
She had it all: career, family, good marriage, but she was struggling with an addiction, afraid to tell anyone.
I just would tell myself, you know, I'm fine. What I say is that I have a broken off switch. When I start, I can't stop.
How she kicked the habit and is helping women just like her to do the same. Tonight at 11. Finally, first at 4, an 11-year-old boy gets his wish granted today at the White House.
It was his wish. Frank started his own business mowing neighbors' lawns in Virginia. So earlier this year, he decided to write to President Trump asking if he could mow the lawn in the Rose Garden.
The president took him up on his offer, as you see there. Today was the big day. The president even greeted him outside. Give him a high five there.
Well, I always wanted to do something big, and so I was like, why not we just start here? And this seems like it's got the perfect example.
I like that. We're going to start at the White House. We'll just start right here. Frank says the experience was pretty much the best day of his life.
And that's not a small yard.
No.
That's some work.
We only showed you a clip of that. He was out there for a long time. Well, thanks so much for joining us for First at 4. We are back in a half hour with Local 4 News at 5, Inside Edition, coming your way in just a couple of minutes.